All right, so there's this article that I found from Goldman Sachs that says the creator economy could approach $500 million by 2027. So they're saying that in 2023, the creator economy industry was around the size of it, the total addressable market was $250 billion. And by 2027, it's going to be an estimated $480 billion, which is crazy. That blew my mind. Another thing that they mentioned this in this article is that so the digital ad industry, which is really closely related to the creator economy, is 670. Do they mention that in this article? It's well, the size of it in 2023 was $679 billion, and in 2027 it's going to be $910 billion. My friend, this is our opportunity. You and me, this is our opportunity. Okay, this is I want to call this like our wave. Okay, in history, the founders of the biggest businesses rode some sort of wave, an industry that was just growing exponentially. And so the creator economy industry is growing crazy. And I love making content. You love making content. I just didn't know. I know. I think we're at an early stage right now where everybody's still figuring out how to make money. I'm figuring it out. And so I wanted to make this episode because I read this article, and I'm going to tell you what's in this article. And then I went down the rabbit hole because there was just so much that I had to learn about, like the digital ad industry. And then there's also like retail media, the retail media industry, which is closely connected. There's a big opportunity there with Amazon and the content that can be made on Amazon. And then there's the connected TV advertising industry, which is all the ads that you've been seeing on Netflix, Hulu, all the streaming services, but how YouTube also plays a big part in that as well. And then like there's these other emerging industries like e-learning, okay, that I'm going to talk about, which is, I don't know if you know Alex Hormozy, but I was so confused when he's making this huge bet on school. It's like an online learning platform. And after like looking at some of the data on like just the size of the industry, right? I kind of began to understand. I was like, oh, I see where he's going with this. I see where he's betting. So that's the e-learning industry. There's also like, of course, the online gaming industry and the esports industry. Honestly, that one blew my mind because I'm not a big gamer anymore. But primarily we're going to talk about the creator economy, and you're going to see how all this kind of connects. And this is our opportunity. So I'm glad you're listening to the pod. Let's do this. So, yes. This article is called "The Creator Economy Could Approach $500 billion by 2027." Okay, it was written in April 19th, 2023. It's on Goldman Sachs website. You can go find it if you want. And so they start with the so-called creator economy has mushroomed and is expected to grow even more in the coming years, according to Goldman Sachs research. Individual people with their own brands and online audiences have emerged as one of the biggest developments of the digital age. The ecosystem is expanding for a number of reasons, including the increase in digital media consumption and the advent of technology that has lowered barriers to content creation. Eric Sheridan, senior equity research analyst covering the U.S. internet sector, writes in Team Sport. New platforms such as TikTok have emerged, which legacy platforms like Facebook and YouTube have also introduced new formats for sharing short-form video, live streaming channels, and other forms of user-generated content. As the ecosystem grows, the total addressable market of the creator economy could roughly double in size over the next 5 years to $480 billion by 2027, from $250 billion today. And then they show this chart, and then they talk a little bit more. But when I saw that just blew my mind, because I've been talking to Jay and Angel about how big we got to go towards a market, or we got to find an industry that is just like huge, so that we can, make a shit ton of money. And that comes from like the lessons in history of how like the biggest entrepreneurs in the past have gotten into emerging industries that were growing really rapidly, industries that were just getting really, really big. And I didn't know, little did I know, we were kind of already in there. There was just a little tweak we had to do, which is like go all in on video. Stop freaking getting distracted with like products and the newsletter or whatever the hell. Like, if the videos are doing well, fucking go all in. Go all in. If we're good content creators, you got to go all in because the opportunity is there. You might not be seeing it right now, but it's just going to keep growing and growing and growing. And the harder you go at it now, the more of that pie you can get, and it's a big ass pie. So the industry is growing from 10 to 20% a year. All right, there's a bunch of words I had to learn because I didn't know any of this. Compound annual growth rate. I had no idea what that was. Business school didn't teach me, or maybe I didn't pay attention. But CAGR, that's gonna be a big one. CAGR. It just started popping up everywhere. So I kind of understand it thanks to ChatGPT. It's like the overall growth rate. I'm going to read you the ChatGPT simplification here. Is that it? It's basically the overall growth rate over year, but like they adjust for like the big fluctuations. So it's basically growing at 10 to 20%, which is pretty freaking good. And apparently it's like one of the fastest growing industries that it's the fastest growing industry I think that I'm going to talk about today. Not out there, but like out of all the industries that I'm going to talk about, the creator economy is the fastest growing one, which is crazy. And then in this article, they also talk about like, where are these people making their money, right? Where is all the money coming from? Why is this so big? This is when I bump into the whole digital ad industry. Because most of the money that is being made right now, brand direct deals are the largest source of income for creators. So yeah, brand deals are the biggest income sources. There's also ad share, which is just 7%. All right, so 68% comes from brand deals. 7% of the income that creators make comes from ad share. 4.8% started their own brand. So that's where they're making their money. Affiliate links, 4.6% are making most of them are making. No, what is it? For affiliate links are 4.6% of the income for creators. Courses are 4.4% of the income. 3.7 no income. Tips 3.5%. Other 2.7%. But like by far, it's just brand deals right now. Trying to find in this article where I figured out that I had to dive deep into the digital ad industry. Let me see. Give me 1 second. The growth is roughly in inline teams. Oh, okay. Yeah, when it says this line. So as the ecosystem grows, the total addressable market for the creator economy could roughly double in size over the next 5 years to 480 billion by 2027 from 250 billion today. That growth is roughly in line with the team's estimates for growth in global digital advertising spend over that period. The analysts expect spending on influencer marketing and platform payouts fueled by monetization of short-form video platforms via advertising to be the primary growth factors of the creator economy. That was interesting because we're going to go big on long form, which I do think it's the right thing to do. I also think that, short form is very important, and that line is interesting to me because a lot of this money that the growth in the industry is going to come from short form. People putting in, or payouts from short form, and also I think industries or companies are going to invest a lot in short form. Also, just as a side note, I'm learning alongside with you, right? I don't know everything right now. So obviously, if you're really interested in this, maybe you go dive deeper into it and then tell me if I'm wrong. But I'm just so curious about it that I think that I'm really trying to understand this. So like, not only did I read the article, but then I started talking to ChatGPT, and then I went back to like Google and I started looking for more sources of like other consulting agencies that did their like analysis, and I started like cross-referencing ChatGPT. And then ChatGPT is like huge in this because it's like helping me understand what I don't understand. And it's like, oh yeah, this is what it means. And then like I gave it like a screenshot of the graph and it helped break it down for me. So there's that. But isn't that crazy? Like a lot of it's going to come from short form. So here's another cool fact from or another cool thing that they said here at in this article, the Goldman Sachs article. Only about 4% of global creators are deemed the professionals, meaning they pull in more than $100,000 a year. And then Goldman Sachs research expects their share of the creator universe to stay steady even as the overall ecosystem expands. That's really interesting because there's going to be a lot of creators and they're going to be making money, but not a lot of them are going to figure it out or make enough money to just make it their full thing, whether they want to or not. That's just an interesting thing that I thought about, or that I find that really interesting, because I think that if you really want to make money making content in the content creator economy, the potential is there, but it is like hard work. You got to want to figure it out. It's not like you just jump in. I mean, unless you're like super talented, and sure, there's going to be those cases, but for the vast majority of us, it's going to require like hard, dedicated work, making a shit ton of videos, making a shit ton of content, finding your audience, nurturing that audience, and then just, yeah, that's going to be our path for sure. So brand deals are the main source of revenue at about 70% according to the survey data. Cool. We already went over that. Then they give us like, in this article, they were talking about the 6 key enablers for creating a flywheel effect in which small gains build on each other over time to create further growth momentum. So the flywheel effect, it's like this whole thing, like, why is this, my thinking is that it's like, why is this going to grow so much? And they give you 6 reasons. Scale, a large global user base with diversified interests. Capital, access to a large pools of capital to fund monetization, either through a diversified revenue base or as part of a larger parent company. Strong AI-powered recommendation engines. That's number 3, for surfacing relevant content and matching creators with interested users. The 4th factor, or the enabler, is effective monetization tools, a variety of product offerings, payout structures for creators to diversify their income streams. Number 5 is robust data analytics for providing transparency on engagement, retention, conversion of and other metrics. And number 6 is e-commerce options. The ability to shop is integrated into the core user experience. So e-commerce is really interesting, right? Because that's what TikTok is really big on right now. I mean, TikTok Shop, there's Instagram Shop. I don't know if YouTube has a thing, but I know that also, like, from what I've been seeing and hearing, live shopping is like becoming a big thing. It's like making people a bunch of money. Effective monetization tools, and like, yeah, I guess there's just more ways to monetize. But anyway, let's move on. So I heard the digital ad industry thing, right? And I was like, well, I don't know what that is. So I went to go, I Googled it, and it was like Statista.com came up with like their analysis on like the digital ad industry. And I guess to define the digital ad industry, it's, let's see what it is. I have the definition right here, 1 second, because I had no idea what it was. Well, it's all digital ads. But not all of them are included in this analysis, but it's basically that. It was like digital advertising through search, video advertising, right? What other ones are mentioned here? Influencer advertising, video advertising, audio advertising, classifieds, search advertising. And so the parent industry is the digital ad industry, I think. Yeah. At least from my understanding. It's like one of the parent industries, right? And under that, you have like partly the creator economy, which I think it's part of other industries as well. Not just ads, but like there's these creators making their own businesses, right? So whatever industry those businesses happen to be in. But for the most part, like we just saw, most people are making money off of brand deals. So that's part of the digital ad industry. And it's the size of that one in 2023 was $679 billion. In 2027, it's projected to be 910 billion. So there's the opportunity. And to dive deeper into it, freaking influencer advertising is actually one of the smaller opportunities. It's like in 2024, it was $30 billion, and it's only going to increase to $47 billion by 2027. And I know that's a lot, $17 billion, right? But when you compare it to these other two, which is search advertising, that's the biggest one. That's like where most of the growth is going to be in search advertising. It's going to grow over $100 billion from 2023 to 2027, which is kind of fucking insane. And then video advertising is a number 2, which is, where is that one at? What is video advertising? So in 2023, it's 176 billion. By 2027, it's going to be 229 billion. So that's pretty good. Meaning that if you're making videos, there's a big opportunity there. But we got to dive deeper into how are we going to capitalize on that big video advertising market? And part of my what I understood here is that actually Angel, which if you don't know who Angel is, he's my business partner who is telling me that I need to chill out with the profanity on YouTube. I hate to say it, but he's partly right. I mean, I'm still a proponent of like, be yourself, be authentic, right? And I'm still going to be myself. But there is a benefit to being really ad friendly. Because like when you jump into how these platforms work in YouTube, one of the big ways, as I was doing research, to capitalize on making more money on YouTube is your videos have to be ad friendly. And there's different like who your audience is really important. Apparently people in tech earn more money. People who are doing content about tech, that's you get more ad money there, because it's just like the people who are advertising there, I guess, pay more. But also like if the platform can show your video to more people, because it's like friendly for families or whatever, that's like of course that's going to bring you more money. That means more ads. So having your content not have a lot of profanity is one. Of course, it being like family friendly and stuff. But this is like where like the individual creator, I think, has to make the call. Because also, if you're not being yourself, it's going to get in the way of building anything that stands out. Because the whole thing about this is that you have to build a differentiated product, a differentiated channel. Why are people going to pay attention to you? One interesting other fact that I kind of understood with ChatGPT that it's telling me here, because I was wondering, like, why is like the creator economy the fastest growing industry out of all the industries? I looked at here, and it said that, well, it's because partly it's replacing, or it seems like it's replacing the gig economy. The gig economy was like Uber, right? Instacart. And it's like as it continues to grow, it seems that it's like replacing that. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it's accurate. It kind of made sense to me that as it continues to grow, like people are starting to do this as a way to make some side money, which goes back to the 4% of people that are professionals, right? Most of the creators who are going to be in the creator economy are just going to be, it's going to be like their side gig, their way to like make some extra money on top of their job. And, not everyone has the entrepreneurial spirit outside the content creation. Some people still want their job and stuff. But I thought that was super interesting because it makes sense, right? Like there's so many people around the world with so many different skills. I mean, and like if they are just pick up a camera, their phone, or like start a podcast, they just start talking about what they know. And this is like, and then like platforms like YouTube are going to pay them for doing that, if they grow an audience. It makes sense to me. So that's real interesting. Just wanted to bring that up. Let me look at where else this is the first episode. This is going to get a lot better as we go on. At the end, I'll kind of tell you what I feel like this is going to be, kind of explain who I am and stuff. So why is a question that I had is, why is the growth year over year for digital advertising slowing down, and where's that growth going? It's because when I saw this graph here on Statista, it had like one graph. It has two graphs here. So we're looking at ad spending, right? When we're looking at the digital ad industry, remember that's the parent industry that we're looking at, and the creator economy is under the digital ad industry. Why is that important? Is because if the ad industry continues to grow, and that means like as the creator economy becomes a better and better way to reach customers and it brings in more money, of course, as the digital ad industry grows, they both grow together, basically. That's what that's kind of like one insight that I had, which is, now that I'm talking about it, it's not that deep. But it blew my mind when I first found it. But anyway, so they have an ad spending graph here, which shows that the digital ad spending is going up, right? Increasing. But then they have digital ad spending growth. So this is kind of like year over year, how much it's growing. And in this graph, it's like declining significantly. So I was concerned. I was concerned that I was thinking like, wait, hold up. So does that mean that the industry is dying? And so this is the graph that I put into ChatGPT, because I was like, yo, help me understand this. Why is it slowing down? And what I got from ChatGPT is that it might not be like dying. It just might be maturing. So in 2020, from 2018 to 2022, from 2018 to 2021, the digital ad industry was growing about like 30%, 20 to 30% a year, which is fucking insane. Like, that's so huge. And then all of a sudden in like 2022, it's growing like it cuts in half, and it just keeps going down and down and down until we're at 2027, where like now it's just going to be growing at like a rate of 3%, 3 to 4%, right? So we went from 30 to 3 to 4%. And with what ChatGPT was telling me, and what I began to understand, is that like, well, one, there was a pandemic, so because everything went digital, a lot of companies started going digital. That might be one of the reasons why it was growing so fast. But also, it was just growing really freaking fast. Like in 2018 and 2019, it was just growing really, really fast. And now that the industry is maturing, apparently, because the industry is maturing, it's still going to grow, but it's growing at 3 to 4% a year. So that's important, because I was just like, oh, is there something else? Is there another industry that is replacing digital ads? I don't know. There might be. But for me, what I concluded was like, that might not necessarily be the case yet. And by asking that question, what I figured out was that there's some emerging sub-industries in the digital ad industry that are like closely related to the creator economy, like CTV and retail media. So CTV, what the hell is CTV? And that is connected television. What is it? Let me see. It's the connected TV advertising. And I kind of thought I knew what it was, and it ended up being right, but it ended up being more than that. The connected TV advertising industry is like, companies are now advertising on the streaming platforms, Netflix, Hulu. And so any TV that is connected to the internet, this is like, the industry is called the connected TV advertising industry. But YouTube is also a part of that, which I underlined. I was like, oh shit, freaking YouTube, man. Like, YouTube's a monster. YouTube is a freaking monster, dude. Because like, it's in the TV advertising industry, in the connected TV advertising industry. It just snuck in there. It was just like, don't mind if I do. Like, yeah, sure. Netflix, Hulu, and all these clowns are here. I'll do it too. And why does that blow my mind? Because, okay, yeah, you got, not only you're going to have like shows on YouTube, like big ass shows, but you have all the creators. You have all the vloggers, you have all like the hobbyists. So it's like double dipping. And then on top of that, dude, it was God, what was my next point? Damn it. I got so excited. I got too excited. I need to relax. What was it, dude? Well, yeah. Anyway, well, the connected TV advertising industry, that's like a thing, you know? That like you could potentially, if you're a creator, you can go into. You know, I can see, of course, this is the best way to get attention is like if you already have an audience or if you're really good at freaking making videos. Like these bigger companies are going to be like, okay, if the whole point is for people to watch our ad, why don't I get like Logan Paul or Mr. Beast to make my ad on Netflix? You know what I mean? So you're watching a Netflix show and then Mr. Beast comes up. And if you're a fan of Mr. Beast, you know what I mean? Or like Mark Rober, I would watch that ad. Like, I think that's really freaking cool. I think user or creator created content, I feel like, are the best advertisements. So like you can start like, I feel like that's another thing. You can start making ads for these companies, especially if it's on YouTube, right? If it's on YouTube and Mark Rober, like one of the guys that you come here to watch is already, you're watching a YouTube video and then Mark Rober pops out. I might watch that ad. I'm like, yo, what's up? I don't know. That was my thinking. I don't know if it's right or wrong, but yeah, dude. So that's one of the sub industries that came from me asking, why is the growth year over year for the digital advertising slowing? It's because it's maturing. So CTV is a thing. I didn't know that. Retail media. Now let's talk about retail media, okay? Because retail media is frickin' Amazon and Walmart and any other like digital store, right? What happens is like, so let's take Amazon for example, because I think Amazon's the biggest opportunity here. Just to give you the numbers, the retail media industry was about $16.7 billion in 2024. Okay, by 2030, it's estimated to be $27 billion. So there's opportunity here. Okay, nothing compared to search advertising, because search advertising, I was still like, holy snap, $100 billion in growth, like that's a monster. Anyway, retail media, $16.7 billion in 2024. 2030, it's going to be $27 billion, right? It's got a rate of growth of 8%. That's CGAR thing. Which I'm sure I'll become very familiar with. But like, so yeah, Amazon's got its website and it's now a platform because everybody just shops on Amazon, right? And because it's a platform like YouTube, basically, it's just that instead of going to watch videos, you go there to buy anything. And they're like, oh, okay, we got the attention, and now you can advertise with us just like YouTube, and it's way more effective. I was reading into it. There was some crazy numbers. It was like 60 to 70%. I don't know what it was, either return or like effectiveness when you advertise with like Amazon versus like trying to do advertising outside, right? But I think this is all like the sponsored stuff that I think we're seeing on like Amazon and Walmart. Like these companies pay for their product to come up first. But also the opportunity for creators, specifically video creators, is that like Amazon, let me pull up the Amazon app right now. Let's see. I think they still have it, but they used to have this like idea section or like tab at the bottom, and they still have it. Pull up your Amazon app, right? And at the bottom, there's like all the options. The second tab is all reels. It's just all reels. I'm gonna look at this like, oh, I'm looking at a Stanley ad right now. This creator made an ad for Stanley, and she's putting stickers all over her Stanley cup. And oh my god, this is crazy. And like I'm watching this reel, and it's a reel you would find in freaking Instagram or TikTok or YouTube Shorts, right? But at the bottom, I can scroll through all the products that she's using, and I thought it was just going to be the Stanley Cup. No, she's got the Stanley Cup. She's got all the stickers that she's using. She's using like these like I don't even know what the hell these things are, but they're like all these attachments for your Stanley Cup, and all these are clickable links that I can visit to buy them. Oh wow. Apparently she was wearing, oh, I see it now. She was wearing a bracelet. It's one of those videos where like it's all about the product, and she puts on a bracelet on the cup actually. But it's like all these products that I didn't even notice at the beginning. I can click on them and I can instantly buy them. That's insane. That's the opportunity for creators right there. How do you make money? And she's going to get paid for all those. If I buy that product right now, she's going to get paid for a small portion of that sale. And I know, like, huge fan of Founders Podcast. I'm a huge fan. One of the things that David Senra, the guy that does the Founders Podcast, I mean, he was doing this in 2018. He would put his affiliate link to the book, right? Because that podcast is about a book. He reads a book a week, and then he tells you what it's about. He would put his affiliate link in the podcast, and if you were to purchase it, he would tell you, like, you'd be supporting the podcast if you buy it from that link, because they get a small portion of the sale at no additional cost to you. So that's the thing. The buyers, they don't have to pay extra. It's just that the content creator gets a little portion because they helped sell it. And I'm looking here at another reel. I'm a big reader, and it's about books. And I'm like, holy shit. Oh my God. And it's not just about books. It has the watermark from Instagram. So this person just downloaded this video from Instagram. She made it for Instagram, and then she just uploaded it here. Didn't give a damn about the watermark, as she shouldn't. And I wonder how much money like, if I were to buy this book right now, which is Adult Children of Emotionally Immature Parents, that's actually a book I was looking into. So Amazon knows me. That's the other opportunity, right? That's why it's so effective, is because Amazon already knows what I'm looking at. And if I get into the habit of coming on here and just looking at these reels for products that I already am interested in, I'm probably going to buy them. And this girl's going to make some money. And she just already made the video. That's the other thing, man. Shorts are really changing the game. I mean, I'm glad we're doing shorts here at Della's Story, because, I mean, that's how we started. But, like, dude, you can go anywhere. YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Instagram, and freaking Amazon. And I'm sure there's something with Snapchat. I need to look into Snapchat. I am completely lost there. But this all goes back. This is the digital, what the hell is it called? It's the retail media industry. And I think that if I were to bet on a company, I mean, anybody would. I would bet on Amazon. And Amazon knows it. It's such a big part of their platform now. And this is only going to grow. So if you're looking to make money, if we're looking to make money, perhaps just the products that you're already buying, just make content about those. And I'm thinking, I need to make content about all these books that I'm reading. The YouTube formula. Oh my God. I just bought that book, and there's a video here about it. Anyway, I'll go back to it. That's another opportunity. So let's keep exploring these. I only have a few more. So there's a few other industries that are under the digital advertising industry that are closely related I think that are why the creator economy is going to be so big. It's because the creators are integrated into all these. The CTV advertising industry, the retail media advertising industry, you need creators. E-learning and online education, that industry. In 2022 or 2021, I don't know which one it was, one of those years, it was $217 billion, the online, the e-learning industry, right? It was $217 billion. That's the size of the market, I think, globally. By 2030, according to McKinsey, it's estimated to be $475 billion. That's pretty fucking crazy. It's growing at a rate of 9.1% year over year. I don't know if that's accurate to say. It's a CAGR. It's 9.1%. So there's that. And let's see. For me, this answered why Hormozi went big on school. SKOOL. Content creator. If you don't know who Alex Hormozi is, he's big in go watch some of his content. It might help you out in the business end. It helped us out. But I was wondering, why did this guy go all in on like branding and trying to push this online platform for education? And I think that's why. It's because it's going to grow into it's going to grow by $200 billion. So he's like, yeah, I think we can capture like a portion of this. It's so big. And so the thing about like going into big, from my understanding, is that the bigger the market you go into, even if you suck, the bigger the slice of your pie is going to be, right? So that's the issue with like going into a shrinking industry, a dying industry. Like if it's already hard to make money and it's not growing, it's only going to get harder. But if you're already making money, right? Like we're making money already with our videos by selling them individually to the different businesses. As it continues to grow, we're just going to, I mean, the potential is going to be to make more money. And as we get better, that's the other thing, because we're going to get better. Because we're going to get better. I mean, of course, if like we just rolled over and didn't freaking learn more, it's over. Like people are going to surpass us. The best version of us are going to come through and just kill us. That's not going to happen though, because we're going to be the best. So the other interesting fact about the e-learning online industry is that the degree programs in universities, like people who signed up for degree programs to go, decreased by 3% from 2019 to 2020. But online universities they were all online, their signups went up 11%. Their enrollment went up 11%. Well, like regular education went down 3%, and I was like, holy fuck. That is wild. That's wild. Like it's just everything's going to move online. And I wonder what these universities are going to do. I wonder if they'll survive. I mean, yeah, sure, like Harvard, MIT, like I think their brand is so big that maybe they'll survive. But I can see like, let's say like school right now seems like a little gimmicky. You know, you go on there and everybody's just kind of teaching you how to get big at school. SKOOL, the platform, Hormozi's platform. But I can see like if it gets like some real educators in there, yeah, I think like a platform like that has the potential of becoming like the new MIT, the new Harvard online, and it's all over. Anybody in the world can access it. You know what I mean? It's like democratizing education. That's insane. So that's that. And I bring that up because that's kind of this podcast, right? It's the online education. I'm educating myself, and then you're going to educate yourself by me explaining it to you. And then partly it's like I want to reinforce what I learned. I want to see if it's real. I don't know if I'm pretty sure that I'm seeing an opportunity here, but I could be wrong. Anyway, the other big industry is online gaming and esports, which I think for a lot of people that's just obvious. It wasn't obvious for me because I'm just not into it. But it might not be the fastest growing, but it's the most profitable. That's one thing that I don't know if ChatGPT is accurate, but it's telling me that that's the most profitable one. And that industry is just huge. And it's this whole other thing. If you want to go into it, I'm not going to go into it, but just because I'm not as interested. But yeah, my takeaways from this is like, okay, yes, go all in on video, go all in on YouTube. Why YouTube? Well, it's got shorts. Keep doing shorts for sure. You want to keep doing shorts because these platforms are all going to compete against each other for the best creators, right? And creators are going to go where they're paid the best. And I don't know, because shorts, like you can post them everywhere. Maybe TikTok, are they even going to be still be around? I don't know. Maybe somebody pulls something out of their ass, right? And like is able to beat YouTube. I don't know about that. Maybe something with TikTok Shop or Instagram Shop. But whoever gives them the most money, creators are going to go. So shorts, you can post everywhere. That's the big thing. But YouTube is just the behemoth, and it's got its little fingers everywhere with connected TV advertising, and all the short stuff. And I'm pretty sure there's like integrated shops in there. And then of course it's basically like the big e-learning platform right now. I mean, it's like everything kind of like YouTube's just like supercharged, like OP. Like it's crazy. You got to be on YouTube, I think. But of course you can find opportunity in other places. And so those are my big takeaways. Yeah, go all in on YouTube, keep doing shorts, and just become a monster creator operator, really. And so now this is one of the things that I wanted to like define, right? Because this idea of creator operators, you hear from Gary Vee That's where I first heard it. But it's two ideas that are like, I mean, only Gary Vee, and I think I heard a few other people talk about it, but I don't think it's widely talked about, and I think it's going to be such a big deal. I think it's the big opportunity because there's all the creators, right? And like, let's define a creator. I'm using the help of ChatGPT here, but I think it did a good job. So a creator, a content creator, is somebody who makes freaking videos, educational or entertaining content. Where the hell is my definition? 1 second. Oh, here we go. So, one sec. Okay, a content creator is someone who produces original content, videos, articles, podcasts, social media posts, or art designed to inform, entertain, and engage an audience. They rely on platforms like YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or Substack to distribute their content. So they're the content creators, right? The issue with content creators, at least that I see, and this was our issue too, is that they're not business operators. Okay, and that's what Gary Vee's talking about too. A business operator focuses on managing and running a business. They deal with systems, finances, logistics, and decision making that keep the business running smoothly. They prioritize efficiency, scalability, and profitability. Why is that important? Because if you want to be in the 4% of content creators that make a living out of this and just go beyond that, right? If you want to build a business out of this, you have to be a creator operator, I think. Unless you're like, of course, there's still like those creators that find some sort of new style of content that nobody's doing and they blow up. But for the vast majority of us, the bigger opportunity is in combining the two, because most people are just going to be one or the other, a creator or an operator, a business operator. But if you can be both of them, dude, that's Mr. Beast level. We're talking about like building chocolate companies, Logan Paul with Prime, right? We're talking about, and then I believe there's this huge wave of creator operators, and ChatGPT helped me like define it. I don't know if this is an original idea, but I haven't heard a lot of people talk about it. A creator operator is someone who blends the creativity of a content creator with the strategic mindset of a business operator. They focus not just on making content, but on building a sustainable business around it. That is who we are here at Della Story. We're creator operators, bro. Creator freaking operators. A YouTuber, here's an example, a YouTuber who grows their channel into a media company, hiring editors, marketers, and sales teams to expand their brand, Mr. Beast. A writer on Substack who creates content while managing subscriber growth, partnerships, and product launches. So that's what this podcast is going to be about. I really, I had the question, I don't know how people are making their money through content, to be honest. Like, there's the whole, like, do you want to be like an ad agency, right? You go make videos for people. That's like a service in the services, right? You go, if you can record videos and make videos, like the easiest thing is just go sell them to people. And I guess I can offer insight on that. We've done that to them, to people, businesses. We go record their stuff, but I don't like that, actually. You know, we don't like that. I mean, it's kind of limiting. There's so many people that just go make videos. And I know there's so many other creative ways to make money, and I want to figure them out. And like the earlier we figure them out, you and me, the more money we can make from them. And like, why make more money, right? Money is not our sole focus. Of course, we want to live a good life, a happy life, but money does help with like doing that. We want freedom, right? We want like the ability to do anything. So if we can, the faster we learn how to make money, the faster we can get there, I think. I mean, I'm happy already, but like the faster we can get to more freedom and doing cooler stuff and making cooler videos and going to travel and showing people. So content creator operators, I'm going to find the creator operators, and you and I are going to turn into some of the best creator operators in the world, Jay. Come on. Okay, so at this point, you're probably wondering who Jay and Angel are. Jay and Angel are my business partners. My name is Caesar, and I'm one of the founders of Della Story. They're the other two founders. And the reason that I'm making this podcast is because this is an internal tool for us. This is an internal content tool. I love consuming podcasts and interviews and just like educating myself on like, how did these other people build huge businesses? I'm like consuming them all the time. All the time. Like I was in the 0.05% of listeners in Spotify. I don't know what that means, but it's just like probably a large part of it was because I was always listening to a podcast this year. And so I know the guys don't listen to as many podcasts as I do or read as much because they don't have the time. Maybe they do. I don't know. But like, anyway, this is going to be a great tool for them. And I'm going to speak directly to them. I'm going to speak directly to you. It's going to be a conversation between the four of us. Okay. Or maybe it'll just be me, Jay, and Angel. But yeah, like it's going to be like our base of knowledge so that we can grow our social media company into a large profitable company. We're Della Story. We make content about the coolest things to do here in El Paso. We've been doing this for the last 2 years. Currently, we make money by getting hired by individual businesses to come make a video about their place. We don't say yes to everyone. We only say yes to places that we think are genuinely cool and that we think we can make them go viral. And that's how we've made our money. So one of my big questions is like, how do we stop selling videos to these local businesses? The goal would be, dude, let's make money another way, because one, services suck. I don't like it because I have to freaking do it. I mean, and I don't want to hire more people. So that's the thing, right? If we don't want to hire more people, we got to find other ways to make money. And then, yeah, like I'm wondering, how do other content creators make money? I don't know. And I know there's so many different ways, and I want to figure out what all those different ways are. I really do. And through this podcast, that's what it's going to be about. I'm going to find a creator every week, and I'm going to try my best to figure out, because probably not all the information is not going to be out there, but through research, figure out like, oh, this is how they're making money through shops or whatever. And one day, I don't know when it's going to be, but you and we're going to find something that not a lot of people are aware of, and then we're going to be able to use it because we're already good content creators. We're going to be able to use it to make money. And we're going to get there before everybody else does. And that is actually why I'm so addicted to like listening to all these things and reading so much. It's because I want to find that thing that nobody sees yet, that only like 10 people see, but it's going to be like huge. We're going to go there first. We're going to get there first, Jay and Angel. And so the cool thing is that it's an internal tool, but we're going to put it out so you can listen. You can learn with us. So one of the big influences of this podcast, you need to go listen to this podcast right now. It's the Founders Podcast by David Senra. Dude, I'm so addicted. I've listened to almost every episode. My favorite episode is number 289 with Brunello Cucinelli. That man's philosophy is just like, I want to live like that guy, and he's Italian. I have a special connection to Italy. Like my soul, I feel like my soul's Italian. I have no actual connection to Italy. But yeah, that Founders Podcast, that's why I call this podcast Creators. And every time I come on here, if I'm reading a book, I'll let you know about that book. But primarily, we're going to focus on like, how are these guys making their money? How are these content creators making their money? I'm going to break down not just the big ones, but like the smaller ones. And hopefully we can keep this going for a long time, because the whole flywheel, I hope I'm using that right, but the whole flywheel here is that if I make a podcast every week, that pushes me to learn more about a creator. And the more I learn, the more opportunities we have in the company of Della Story. And then the more opportunities we have in company of Della Story, the more content we can make. And it just keeps going and going. And then plus, if this starts taking off and you learn how to make money, now I have another way we made another audience. And if we remember from the podcast, the freaking e-learning education industry is going to grow huge. And it's just another way. So like, let's go. You and me and Angel and Jay, let's go together. Let's do this shit, dude. Thank you so much, David Senra, for the Founders Podcast. He keeps saying, like, the podcasts are like an amazing business. So hopefully this is our dive into it. But I really believe in the creator economy, dude. Oh my God. Remember, we're going to be creator operators. We're going to make this happen. Let's go.